Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, no matter where you're watching us from today. My name's Michael Firth, one of the founding Field Advisory Board members of Neumi. And today, I'm actually your MC. We have an interviewer and an interviewee, and this is one definitely not to be missed. Before I start, though, do me a favor, if you're watching us live right now, or even if you're watching the replay, type in the chat exactly where you're watching us from. Would you believe that Neumi is actually in 74 countries around the world in under 4 years? We're coming up to our 4th anniversary, and we have had a trajectory that a lot of companies envy in terms of our growth. Having said that, we always draw on this particular event every week. We actually draw a winner for some free products. So with that in mind, we actually have this lady's name from one of the previous events a few weeks ago, which is Mona Petir James. Mona Petir James, if that is you, do us a favor, send a private message to Everything Neumi Worldwide, which is where we're live streaming primarily from right now. And we'll get some product sent out to you, a free bottle of product. Having said that, if you're watching this right now, do us a favor, type in "pick me, please." So type in "pick me, please" in the chat. If you're a Neumi member, if you're a Neumi customer, or even if you're just checking these out for the very first time, you have the option of typing that in on the chat. Pick me, please, in which case you may be the lucky winner next week when we do the next interview series. Having said all of that, today it is my pleasure to actually introduce you to the interviewer, which is actually my mentor and my good buddy, which is Alex Monterosa, somebody who, with myself, helped start the company Neumi about 4 years ago. He's an absolute genius in this industry, but he's going to be interviewing somebody else who I have a lot of fond memories for, and that is Italo. Italo is a beautiful human being and a great diamond leader in the company, and some that had actually impact on some of our tweaking some of our systems as we went forward. So with that in mind, please welcome Alex Monterosa.
Good evening, everyone, and I hope you are sitting down because what you're going to hear today requires attention on your behalf. It's not every day we get to listen to a legend in this industry and a legend that's a part of Neumi. Okay, the individual that I'm going to introduce today, and I have the pleasure and the honor of being able to interview, is somebody that has been around the industry for a long, long time, and he has not wasted a day since he's been in. You will gather that in the information he's going to share with us, and we're going to get to know a little bit of this individual. He's somebody that has put a lot of action behind everything you're going to hear he knows, which is going to be a very special treat. So grab a pencil and paper, or make sure you got something to take notes with, because I am sure he's going to say quite a few things. He's going to leave us with quite a few pearls of wisdom that are going to be helpful as you develop yourself with Neumi. So today, it is my immense pleasure to be able to interview a legend, like I said, in this industry, and a legend here at Neumi, and somebody that's making things happen because of his servant attitude. Okay, help me welcome, and I want to see you put in the chats, put 777 so that we know you're connected, and let us know where you're connecting from, and help me welcome Diamond member Italo Elgueta. Italo, welcome to tonight's Getting to Know the Leaders here at Neumi. How are you doing today, and where are you logging in from?
Well, thank you so much for the invite to this event tonight. And I am right here in Linden, Utah, in my house right here. My wife allowed me to be right here downstairs, in my office, because I love to be here. So thank you again.
Well, Italo, yes, thank you for taking the time out of your schedule, which I know is very active. Okay, I don't like to say busy, because a lot of times individuals are busy and they're not being productive, yet you're an incredibly active individual that's very productive. So let's get right into the topic. I got a few questions for you, and I would love for everyone to get to meet you as we share the answers to these questions. You have decades of experience, like I said at the beginning, in this industry. Tell us briefly a little bit about your background and how you came into this industry.
Well, my background is really simple. I started being in life and being a Navy guy, and I joined the Navy when I was 15 years old, where I learned about the discipline, camaraderie, that being loyal, and all the principles, you need to have it in order to be a person working in the Navy. So I was 23 years in that, and while I was there, I somebody invited me to a meeting, and I was a professor at that point in time, you know, in the university, and I teach in system. That's and then the person was right there say, if you really want to be successful in this industry, you have to follow a system. And then just, yeah, you know, caught my attention, and I started doing that, and well, I following the principles, and I started being learning, and trial and error and stuff like that, and like everybody in this industry, but with a burning desire to be better, and then I try to be better until right now. You know, I
Well,
have been.
thank you for sharing that.
Mhm.
And we see where your discipline comes from, absolutely. And where your systematic mind comes from. Okay, so yeah, it's definitely there in the background, and it's individuals like you that absolutely help make everybody around you better because of that type of mentality and that example that you set. Now, how long have you been a part of Neumi, and how is it that Neumi, you came across Neumi?
Well, and I have been in Neumi. Basically, will be in July. Well, in October, probably will be 2 years. And then somebody told me, you know, from Mexico, say, hey, Italito, like people call me, and they say, you know, we have, do you remember about the glutathione? And they say, yes, I know, but this is a really, really fragile molecule. And I said, not really good. So, and the people working in the company doing that are not really good. No. It says right now it's sublingual. And then they say, well, you know the name of the company, and you know really is this a company doing this? Yes. And are you involved in that? No, I am not. You are the researcher. Okay. So give me the name of the company. And I was realized, you know, the company was 15 minutes away from my home. So I went over there, and I was exactly when the company was in anniversary, and then nobody was right there. And I asked the person at the front desk to say, so nobody right here? No, we have a celebration of the second anniversary, and then we are with all the diamonds in Salt Lake City. So all the diamonds? I say, yeah. I say, how many diamonds you have? I say, 60. 60 was a big surprise for me, you know, because 2 years and a 60 diamond. He said, well, you had to have something really special right here, because I know a company with 2 years, and probably you had to prefabricate some diamond, you know, a couple, you know, as a consultant in order to have success. And so, and then it was a Friday, and then Monday I have a meeting with uh, with the founder, and I was 3.5 hours with him, and I asked every single thing, and I changed my mind, blow my mind, and I said, you know what? I found something. I was a consultant and at that point in time, so I not doing no anymore, and I say, well, I want to investigate more. I was a few months, you know, investigating the company comp plan and everything, you know, the patent and everything, because I wanted to come back to the industry, but I wanted to have something really special, and I found that. So, and I was really excited about that. And this is what started, really started like that.
Wow, that's music to my ears, because I had the pleasure of being here at Neumi from day one, since day one, and to be able to see leaders of your caliber and your experience, be able to check out our company, especially 2 years ago when we were just really getting started, putting everything together. For you to have decided and seen enough with our technology and everything that we have here at Neumi to be able to be a part of this family, it's truly a blessing. Now, one of the things that I love about our company, and I've been able to see and be able to witness, is the huge expansion that we just had across the globe. And you, as an individual, somewhat of an icon in this industry, You had relationships all over the world. So one of the things that I love is that our Neumi business is in 74 different countries, and the team is expanding fast. Your team, per se, is expanding fast across the globe. How have you been able to do that? And how would you think somebody that's just getting started can leverage from that? Okay, and what are some of the countries your team has been able to to be able to expand into?
Well, it's a few questions right there, but I want to start it with saying I have friends around the world because I have been in this industry for the 35 plus years. I don't want to say 35, because people say, oh, how old is this guy, And then and I started talking with some people in Europe and some people in Latin America. And then the people believe me, the people say, well, we want to try the product. And we're going to say, and I repeated exactly what the founder told me about this, and then I trying to, have my product right here, and am dedicated, really disciplined. One of the success you have to take the product. If you don't take the product, really you will never have a testimony about this, and then you cannot talk from the inside to outside of the people. So and the other question was about
What are
how
some of
many.
the countries you've been able to expand into, and
Well,
how have you been
I
able to
probably
do that?
all that in Eastern Europe and all of them and all the country probably over there, and then there's some in the Latin America as well, and then probably 12 countries, something like that. So and I'm starting right now also in Asia, so I think we have an opportunity, tremendous opportunity right here. And I have been a long time right here. I live in Utah. I've been consultant, so I trying to find something, but we didn't have the industry. So, and then when I found this one, and I say, you know what, we have really a pure gold right here, and the really beginning, So right now, I I promise this company is still barely starting. We have an opportunity right here. It can be for the next 30 years, easy. So this is really important to understand that, and then always, we have when you barely started anything, you have something like that, but the intentionality of the people in the executive guys, they are amazing. They are doing whatever they can do it to have better and better every single day in this opportunity. Right now, the opportunities are fantastic. You can imagine, in 2, 3, and 4 years, but right now is the time you have to start increasing your belief in this one, because we have something, probably the better thing in the last 30 years.
Thank you. And you know what? I'm glad you brought that up, because I do believe that huge part of the success we're having is the incredible corporate team that are just so focused in getting into all these countries in the same manner, by meaning having everything across the board equal. Having our technology being able to get in there, having the distribution channels, being able to pay on time and all that. And that obviously shows in the way that you've been able to take advantage of it by expanding your business. And as a consultant that you were in the past, you obviously know when something of that caliber and something of that magnitude is working, okay, in the right manner. So thank you for recognizing that and bringing that up. That also alludes to your humble way of being, because I always said you've forgotten more than most people will ever learn in this industry, okay, but that doesn't um, take you anywhere that you shouldn't go. You've always stayed humble. You've always had that servant attitude, and you've always had a keen ability since I met you to be able to empower others and be able to help others, no matter what team they're in. You always have a word of wisdom, and you know how to guide them to where they need to channel their energy. How is that possible? What are some of the keys that you can leave us with tonight, with sharing with everyone of how to empower others? What are some of the secrets to that empowering of individuals, not just in your group, but all around you? Because I've seen you do that everywhere you go.
Well, it's really simple, and you have to believe. This is what I believe. I believe in principle of success, and the principle of success. One of the principles of success, just one of that many of them, is it basically is a law. Is it the more people you help, the more the God or the uh, universe can give to you back. That law doesn't say it's just helping your team, helping everybody. It doesn't matter. You know what I mean? Because the universe reach out of giving to you back, no matter what. You don't have to be concerned about that. You just giving, and then you will receive it for sure. And this is, I really love that, especially in my time right now, because I really want to have a legacy, on other people, empowering another people to they never have been diamond, they never have been leadership, they never know about the principle of this, the personal development, never have been about what is that real skills they need to have to start barely starting this business, because every single one of you, us, including you, your dad, me, another one, we were brand new in this industry. If we didn't know anything, if we have somebody teach us, if we put effort and we step by step, and learning, and then we have start learning one of the best concept in this industry, which is duplication. And then you learn that, and then all the activity you have to do, all the activity you do, you need always in the contrast with this is duplicable or no. This is not, and don't do it. You know what I mean? Because otherwise you will be the only one doing that.
Well, you're a true example that what goes around comes around, because we're seeing it happen and manifest in your life. And it's part of the law, right? Part of that principle that you just alluded to, which is you're always going to reap what you sow. So keep sowing words of wisdom and words of life into other individuals, which is what I know you're an expert at doing by virtue of learning. Because you're right, we all start at zero. We all begin from nothing, learning from somebody else, and keep that humble attitude and that teachable spirit definitely helps us get along. You've been key. You've been very key and integral in being able to help Neumi expand and help them lay out some of their processes, especially with your vast experience. And you are somebody that simplifies things. Okay, you have the keen ability to see things and make them simpler because of that systematic mind that you've developed throughout your years. You coined the phrase Neumi cycles. And I know the Neumi cycles have to do with the 3-30-30. Can you explain a little about that and tell us a little about the Neumi cycles for those individuals that are watching? And take note of this, because your business is going to blow up just like Italo's is doing by understanding what the Neumi cycles are all about.
Yes, it's my pleasure to explain about this. Like everybody in this industry, they don't know. We don't know what we don't know, and then step by step we are learning. And then probably 15 years ago, putting in all the people, my knowledge, my experience, like experience of others, one, and then we create a 3-30-30, and then we realized we have three processes, very basic processes. Is it prospecting, the base one, knowing what really is the objective of prospecting, and then after that is recruiting. When you select really the people, when you're prospecting, you're recruiting and putting, really is recruiting is a phase of education, and elevating you know, the trust in you and the trust in the product, the trust in the company, also the level of conscious, you know, and this is a recruiting process. And after that, the people is duplicated. So these three processes are really things. And then the cycles really, including the three ideas in 2 weeks. So the people doesn't need to know everything, becoming a Dexter Jagger or becoming Carlos Marin or whatever, you know, who, or Alex Monterosa. You know, brand new, simple thing in 2 weeks. The first week, you start doing while you are learning. And, you know, and then using tools to do that. You know, you are not the message, you are the messenger, you know, and then you repeat that, you know, because they say we use a list of 30 people. You know, this is the cycle with 30 people. So you repeat the process 30 times. And then the 30 time, the objective of that is to have just 3 people, you know, and then the people say, well, the people don't want to join me. No. But remember, 30 people, you have 3. Your objective is to have 27 people we don't know. You know, see, some people say, no, doesn't matter. You know, I need to have 27 of them. While you have the 3 people in this week, because it's really condensed in a week to do and does that process, you learn. Everybody, you know, working for 30 times in short period of time, learn immediately because the process is really simple. So when you have the 3 people, right now you are empowered to teach to 3 people in the next week to do the same thing you did it in the second week. So right now you are guiding and supporting your 3 members of your team. And then when you do that, and the 3 people doing for you, and then you have the cell of duplication. You are not the only one knows about this. So you know your 3 people know, and then they can do the same thing and they start doing every single one the same thing. So it's really simple. This is one cycle. It's 2 weeks. And then in 2 weeks, the people get excited because they have the 3 people, they have the 3 customers. And then you kind of repeat this, you know, the next 2 weeks, and the week 3rd and 4th. And then you do it again, and you do it again, but you know the process. You know, the prospecting, recruiting, duplicating in 2 weeks. This is all about. And then you can repeat it. In my opinion, if you do that, you wanna be in our case, 2-star, 3-star, you know, you are doing for 45 days or 3 cycles. These are 90 people, you know, nobody die, you know, contacting 90 people. And if you really want to be in the top, you do that for 90 days, 6 cycles. And you know the 6 cycles, every time when you do a cycles again and again and again, you are getting better and better and better, you know? And then the people and your team, seeing you're doing that and the people doing the same thing, you create basically a culture of that. And then when the culture is getting better and better, and then you create your organization a DNA. And DNA, when you do the DNA, okay, it's nobody. You can go out of the company. You can do nothing. The DNA never change. So this is a cycle. They're really simple.
Wow, what a loaded answer, full of wisdom and the process that it entails, which is literally teach them by showing them, right? And obviously, for you to teach them, you need to learn it. You secure it from the beginning, creating that systematic mentality in the processing period, which therefore you need a list to be able to prospect in that process. And then just teach individuals by what you're doing. And most of them will say no, as the numbers show, right? And some of them are for later. You mentioned 27 out of 30 in the first week. And those three really help us focus into our compensation plan, that power of three, where everything begins from, and then it's just a matter of repeating that and teaching that. I would suggest, if you're watching this, that you rewind it, listen to it again, rewind it, listen to it again, and rewind it, listen to it again as many times as you have to. He has just given you what we call in this industry a 90-day run in bite-sized pieces that will eventually take you to have levels of success such as the ones that Italo is having. Italo, it's an amazing pleasure, like I said at the beginning, and an honor for me to be able to work with you, for me to be able to learn from you, for me to be able to travel around the world as we've done in a few occasions already, and I know we will continue to do. I just want to ask you, is there a final word of advice that you have today for our Neumi members? Something that comes from your heart, as everything does, that you want to tell them and leave them with to the future of Neumi and what this legacy is all about?
Well, this is, thank you so much for that question, you know what I mean? Because as I said before, I have been more than 30 years in this industry. And in my opinion, this is the best opportunity in the last 30 years. Because why? Is because we have a business model is really revolutionary. We don't have general manager around the world. We don't have offices, a building. You know, they're taking the money of the comp plan, paying something is not necessary. And then this model, you know, allow to have an account plan. This is really generous. You know, we pay 53%. This is unheard. You know what I mean? So it's incredible, and allowing to have a in 74 countries right now. You know, and then we pay commission, and we deliver the product. And also we have a technology unique. You know, I have been, you know, my kid, you know, he passed away, and we have been involved really, really, really hard in this one and deep. And then the industry have been a problem for years, which is that really the problem is we don't have absorption in the body. And nobody talk about that, but right here in Utah, we have many big laboratory, many scientists, and then they never, you know, we could figure it out really how to do that. And then right now we have in our own, we on the patent, you know, we are not paying to somebody else royalty for the patent, you know. And then it's a technology, and also philosophy is based on the field. They're asking all the time how to do this, you know, because we are in 74 countries and they have different culture, and they have different leaders, they have different, and then I have seen how the company is really concerned about how to serve the country, the field. And this is really important. In my opinion, in my heart, I'm so grateful. Grateful for this opportunity, and I don't want to waste this opportunity. And I would like to tell you, you know, they're listening right now, don't be grateful for this opportunity and don't waste it, because probably when I have something like that, maybe in the next 30 years. So I probably 30 years, I will not be here. So take advantage of this. I want to take advantage to help more people, create a legacy. It's an opportunity for you, for me, for all the leadership right here to create a legacy, you know, with product never we had before, and with a comp plan never we had before. It's really difficult to do that. And then even though the companies, they want to pay more, they cannot pay more because they put in the money in other places, you know. And then right here, the business model they have, I'm really, really happy with this. This is if I have something to have to say as an end right here. Be grateful with this and don't waste this opportunity, because this will be probably no other like this, probably in the next 30 years. this is all about.
Wow, brilliant.
you.
You gave us all the reasons why Neumi is not only working, the reason why it's growing, the reason why it's attracting so many leaders of your caliber, and the reason why we're developing so many leaders here. It's a company that's definitely got its own intellectual property, its own manufacturing process, an incredible compensation plan that pays, like you said, up to 53%. And on top of that, you add the fact, and we alluded to that earlier on, that we have an amazing corporate team that are really listening to the field, because we know that in 74 countries, every single country is different. Even though some of them are next to each other, all of them are different. And I hadn't seen that happen in this industry in the time that I've been in, and I know you hadn't, and it's part of what we've recognized. So Italo, thank you for all those markers that you've given us, because you've showed us that this is where we need to be, this is where we need to build, and we're not going to find anything outside of Neumi for now, and as you said, for the next 30 years. So thanks to everyone that has decided to join Neumi, and thanks to everyone that plugged in tonight to listen to this amazing individual just share his words of wisdom and just share his life. Literally, he gave you everything you need to know. It's just a matter now of finding that mentor that you're going to work with, because understand you're not alone. Okay. And that's part of the reason that Neumi's being so successful. There's always someone that's going to be there in your upline willing to help you. So do look for that help. Even if you're watching this and you're joining Neumi just recent, or you're thinking about joining Neumi, there isn't any more you're going to find anywhere else than here at Neumi. That's why we're building this legacy company. So thanks everyone tonight for logging in. And I really, really wish everyone an amazing week. And I wish you all the success you're willing to work for. And thanks again to our friend and mentor, Italo Elgueta. So just say bye-bye in the chat, post 777 to show how grateful you are for having had an individual like this just pour his heart out. Okay, so thank you, and until next time, take care.
Okay, thank you, Italo, and thank you, Alex. What a fantastic interview. So many pearls of wisdom in that. I hope you had a pen and paper out and you're taking some notes. Whether you're with Neumi or whether you're just checking us out, I'm sure there'll be a lot of value you got out of watching that right then. As I said earlier in the interview, if you haven't done it yet, please, no matter whether you're a Neumi member or a Neumi customer, or maybe you're just checking us out, please type in the chat, pick me, please, and you may be the winner of a bottle of product next week. Now, even if you're watching the recording in the playback sometime in the next 7 days, if you type that in, you still go into the draw. So I look forward to seeing everybody same time next week, Monday, 6 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, Utah time, which is Tuesday morning in the Southern Hemisphere for this interview.